A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell raise your right hands, please. Raise your right hand, please. Raise your other right hand. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. If you're not a citizen, pleading today could affect your immigration status. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're on probation or parole. If you're on probation or parole and you plead today, it could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If I sentence you on a criminal case today, you have to go to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. Those mandatory costs are in addition to anything we might do here. And the least the mandatory cost can be is $273. If you have a battery, it goes at least $700. I will go on to Ashley Sunblade, please. Ms. Sunblade, you are charged with shoplifting. You're already on probation for fraud, and now we have a shoplifting. This violates your probation. Ms. Papula, did you take that into consideration when you were working up?
No, Your Honor, I didn't record that she is currently on probation. I do.
All right, can I hand you both of my files and see what, Mr. Boone, she's not free to go back on the other side of the swinging doors right now. Could you hand that to Ms. Papula? And could you come sit in the corner over here, please? Suzelle Lundy.
Thank you.
What a neat name, Suzelle. I love it. Ms. Lundy, you are charged with driving while license suspended. You had one 3 years ago, and that's it. So this would be your second within a 5-year period. If you get 3 in a 5-year period, Tallahassee takes your license for 5 years. This time you were suspended for not paying 2 Orange County tickets and 1 Volusia County ticket. Are you able to, have you fixed it?
Actually, I had fixed the Orange County tickets that week prior to that. He had put down here that I'm driving with suspended with knowledge, which was incorrect, because I did not know, because I have the paperwork, and I had taken care of it.
Could I see your paperwork, please? Do you have a valid license now or not?
No, I have to take care of the Volusia County one, which I didn't know about. I had to write to the judge and request a new court date, and I'm waiting for him to write me back.
Okay, they dismissed a driving while license suspended in
Orange County.
So I can't tell if it's that one.
They had messed up a lot of tickets in there.
Okay, could you have a seat while we try to figure this out? And here's their speed. Carl Casimir to the microphone, please. Mr. Casimir, thank you for dressing so respectfully for the court. All right, this is frustrating me a little bit. You got PTI, and we said if you finished everything, we dismiss it.
Yeah.
You didn't finish, so we put you on probation. And now you haven't finished all the conditions while you're on probation.
I didn't finish the counseling, and I did the drug test, and I'm paying. I'm a full-time.
But you've had a year.
I'm a full-time student, and I work 30 hours. Work 30 hours.
So how are you going to do that if I put you in jail? Because that's my only choice that's left.
I can do it this summer because I'm only working for the school to pay the rest of my bills off, and then I just need like a few months and I can get it done. I'm not trying not to do it.
Had almost 2 years to finish. Could you get him a garbage can to spit out his gummies in a courtroom? Well, I'm not willing to continue it from here. If you want to enter a not guilty plea, we'll put it on the next docket. That will put it off like 6 weeks.
Okay.
And so you'll have the summer to finish. But then, if it isn't done, we're going to have a hearing.
No
And if
problem.
you're found guilty, it's jail time.
No problem.
All right, he's present. He's entering a not guilty plea, and we're continuing it to PNC sentencing. He's got 2 separate files, so it's all a not guilty, continue it to PNC sentencing. Richard Shoemaker, please. Mr. Shoemaker, you're charged with a violation of your residency restriction. Where do you live usually?
Yes, ma'am. Vacation Village in Claremont.
That's where you live year-round, or that's where you...
I've lived there for 6 years. I moved there July of 2007.
So you live in Florida, so you have to have a Florida driver's license and a Florida tag on your vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, dear. You got a copy of what the charge is?
Violation of residence restriction. There's a swing set in the field behind my condominium.
So do you want to say not guilty and talk to an attorney? You've lived there for 6 years.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
the swing set came after you lived there.
No, it's been there the whole time.
Oh,
It's been there the whole time, and I just, sheriffs come by twice a year to verify, address verification, and they've never said anything about the swing set behind my condo until last year.
until last year?
Last year.
So he said something last year and you didn't make other arrangements?
They said there might be a problem with the swing set behind my condominium.
Okay, are you going to be sentenced on this, which generally is jail time? Are you going to say not guilty and talk to an attorney?
Not guilty, please.
Are you able to afford a private attorney, or do you need the public defender?
Maybe a private attorney.
That would be good, and then we'll get this cleared up once and for all.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe we can get you a waiver is there a wall between you and the...
There's a wall about 4 feet high, and there's a swing set probably 50 yards, 60 yards.
You may have to move, but
Yes, ma'am.
that's better than going to jail, so
Yes, ma'am.
get a private attorney and get this worked out, and we'll see you.
Is that your recommendation, to get a private attorney?
If you can afford an attorney, I recommend you get one.
Okay.
Because this is going to come up again next month and the month after, and
Yes, ma'am.
until we get something settled, it's going to be hanging over your head.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's my recommendation, to get an attorney who can research whether this is a violation or not.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty, we'll see you at your next court date. And now, Hikam Mossad. Mr. Mossad, you're charged with an expired driver's license. It expired in 2007?
I have a driver license from North Carolina. It's still valid.
All right. When you went to North Carolina, did you turn in your Florida driver's license?
Yes.
Okay, let me see your North Carolina driver's license. Do you live in North Carolina, or this
Yes, ma'am.
says you live in Florida?
I have an address here, so whenever I come here, I stay at that address.
But your permanent residence
Yes,
is...
in North Carolina.
I cannot read this. Can you run this, please, and tell me the expiration date?
2015.
What?
2015.
15?
Yes.
No way, that's a one. But could you find out when the expiration date is. I'd have a seat while we get it run. Constance Holmes, please. Ms. Holmes, you're charged with violating your probation. Everything's done except the Victim
DUI.
Awareness Program. Have you finished the Victim Awareness Program?
Yes, ma'am, I did everything but the DUI school.
The school or the treatment?
I signed up for. I called Miss Brenda yesterday, my probation officer. I keep in contact with her even if I'm not on probation. So she let me know what's up and what up.
But you are on probation.
No, she said I was off. That's
Okay,
why.
because time's up. I got
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, that's why they had to violate you, but
Yes,
I
ma'am.
ROR'd you, so you didn't have to
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
stay at the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation recommends her license remain suspended, but that we just terminate and leave it up to the department. You're okay with that? Yes. Okay, Ms. Holmes, Ms. Quattlebaum says that you're trying, you haven't never stopped trying.
Ma'am.
And that she thinks you'll finish even if I'm not in your face.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Miss Angie, we're going to take her advice. She remains suspended until all conditions completed, but probation is finished. And then, oops, wait a minute. I said that, and then I see she has a new case. While you're on probation, you get charged with stealing.
No, ma'am. I see my the attorney on the 11th. No, ma'am. I'm not pleading for that. I took a girl to a store. It was me and two other girls. And I have my court date for that is on the 28th of June.
Yes, and you're charged with being a thief.
I got an attorney for that.
Ms. Papola, could you make a note on Ms. Holmes' new theft charge?
No,
That you have a new theft charge. It's going, if she's found guilty, it's jail. Because I shouldn't have ROR'd her. I should have sent her
that happened 2 years ago, Miss Miller.
Judge Miller.
I have an attorney. I said my attorney.
Okay, your attorney is a public defender,
Yes, ma'am.
and so that's June 28th.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor? I'm sorry, can you give me that case number for the theft?
The theft is 2012 MM 7742. And allegedly, she and two other women,
I know, Your Honor. I was driving.
all right, could you write the current one up, suspended with the department, but probation's over. Okay, have a seat at the table. Did you figure this out already? And this is Miss Lundy. Okay, Miss Lundy, come on back up. Miss Papola,
Yes, Your Honor?
Miss Lundy had a driving while license suspended in 2010. She apparently paid that and got 3 points because she did not go to school or get a withhold. Then earlier this year, she got another driving while license suspended in, I think it's Volusia, Orange County. But for whatever reason, here's a piece of paper saying they dropped that driving while license suspended. So the reason she was suspended out of Orange County was for ticket 4640, and they have dropped that. So now the only reason she's suspended is ticket 4639, which was a speeding ticket.
Which was paid. They had all the records, but they never cleared it up. I gave them everything. That was what the issue was, because that was still on there.
So I think you should say not guilty for now until you see if you can get everything caught up.
Okay, not guilty.
I'm not appointing a public defender. When you come back, we'll see what's been taken off and what hasn't.
Okay.
And then you have a new speeding ticket. You didn't have enough troubles, you had to get another speeding ticket?
And that was I was doing 60 and a 55. I will admit to that. And he was
Then you
like,
need to get your speedometer checked.
Well,
Because if your speedometer is off by 5, then you may have been going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit without realizing.
Well, actually, the officer said it to his supervisor at the same time, and the supervisor was telling him, well, why don't you let her go? Because the warrant, the writ that I had for FTA.
Okay, the officer said you're doing 65 and a 55. So you can argue with me all you want, you're just wasting your time and my time. I'm suggesting you get your speedometer checked, because if you thought you were just going 5 miles an hour over and the officer said you're going 10 miles an hour over, your speedometer may be wrong. If you don't want to do it, then you don't have to. But we're finished.
All right.
All right.
His license is valid and it expires in 2015.
That is a 15, okay. And that's Mr. Masad. Mr. Masad, come on back up. It does say 15, and it's valid in North Carolina, and you've testified under oath or affirmation that you live in North Carolina and you just visit here.
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Ms. Papula, his Florida driver's license expired in '07 because he didn't renew it because he moved. And it does appear he turned that in when he got this. So I think he's allowed to drive in Florida on this, so we need to announce a new information. Ordinarily, I would have dismissed before this change in rule.
Okay, Your Honor.
Announce a no information. I'll dismiss it if you want me to. Okay, and then, oh, that was the only thing you had. Could you give this back to him, please?
Thank you, sir.
All right, wait for your paperwork, and then you're out of here. Let's see, let's go to Miguel Guerrero. This is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 5th. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is at least 25 days.
¿En dónde?
Usted es Miguel Aguirre.
¿Aguirre?
Aguirre Guerrero.
Sí.
If he pleads today, it's 25 days in jail. After today, the state can ask for up to 60 days.
Señor,
And state, if he doesn't plead today, this should really be a driving while license suspended, because he's suspended for not paying
con licencia de conducir.
2 Lee County tickets.
Usted lleva esto a juicio.
And he's suspended for not paying the payment plan in Lake. So it's 25 days today. After today, it can be up to 60 days.
Esa oferta desaparece y puede que hasta reciba 60 días.
Pero puedo pagar 25 ahorita. ¿Cómo me dice?
25 días de cárcel.
Sí.
So would I be going right now to do the 25 days?
Is there a reason why he cannot go right now?
¿Hay alguna razón por la cual usted no puede ir ahora mismo a cárcel?
Es que tengo que recoger herramientas en mi trabajo.
It's just that I have to go pick up the tools, my tools at work.
He's not allowed to drive.
Usted no puede estar manejando.
No.
So how is he going to pick up his tools?
¿Cómo va a llegar ahí para recoger
No,
sus
me
herramientas?
van a venir por mí alguien.
No, someone's coming for me.
And when does he want to turn himself in?
¿Cuándo quiere entregarse usted entonces?
El fin de semana. ¿Qué día es?
On the weekend. Hoy estamos a 5.
So Friday night at 7 p.m.?
A lo mejor es el viernes. Viernes para las 7 de la
Sí,
nochecita,
está
un
bien.
poquito antes de las 7.
Ujú.
Yes, that's fine.
If he does not turn himself in and the sheriff has to come get him, it will be 59 days in jail.
Definitivamente van a ser 59 días. ¿Lo entiende?
He must be there before 7 p.m. on Friday
Tiene que estar ahí antes de las 7 de la noche,
Ok.
el viernes,
at the jail.
ahí acá enfrente en la cárcel.
Sí, ok.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Angie, it's 59 days suspended upon turning himself in to do 25 days,
¿En dónde me anda?
Friday by 7 p.m.
No tengo esa
No dice.
información.
Credit for any time he's done.
Y le dan crédito por cualquier tiempo que usted ya ha cumplido, si lo han detenido.
¿Está suspendido?
Yo no tengo licencia suspendida.
I don't have a suspended driver's license.
What?
I don't have a
His
suspended
license
driver-
is suspended because he has not paid his tickets.
Está suspendido, el privilegio de manejar está suspendido porque usted no ha pagado sus citas de tránsito.
All right, Angel Murphy to the microphone, please. All right, we continue this from April for you to try to complete all the conditions so we could just close out the case.
Yes, ma'am. They had originally scheduled me for Memorial Day, so they called me back and said we have to reschedule. So it's June 19th, but then I just got a phone call yesterday saying that they needed to reschedule that. So I got a hold of them this morning, and it's the 18th at 2:30. So it's been really difficult to deal with live streams, but
This says you haven't been to DUI school.
I have. I didn't bring my
The only
paperwork.
thing that's left is the treatment.
Right. I've paid everything, I've completed it, I got the certificate, just the treatment is what I have to go through.
So do you want to continue it again, or can we just say she'll remain suspended until she provides proof?
Yes, I think that was probation's recommendation.
All right, so do you have your work permit now or a license now?
No, I have to get my hardship. I just applied for my hardship.
Okay, well, we're going to say that it's between you and the Department of Motor Vehicles now that probation's terminated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Travis White. Mr. White, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Do you have a valid driver's license now?
No, ma'am, I have the paperwork for the class to get my license back. I go do the class, the DUI class, 28th and the 30th, and then my evaluation is the 24th of July, or 23rd of July, and then I will have my license.
Mr. White will continue this past that July date, but the computer shows that your license is suspended for a DUI and for a controlled substance. You're driving on a license suspended for that, and that's jail time.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I've never had a DUI. My license was revoked.
Okay, you got
over the
revoked for 2
substance.
years, June 11, 2010, for controlled substance.
Yes, ma'am.
You failed to complete DUI school, so you got suspended December 19th
December 19th. Oh,
of
yes, ma'am.
2011 of that year.
Yes, ma'am. I applied for the school and then ended up getting incarcerated,
Okay,
so I wasn't able to take the class.
I don't know why you had to go to the DUI school if you didn't have a DUI.
That was it was for a hardship, to get my hardship. Whenever they revoked my license, I had to take the DUI school. And then because I paid for DUI school, why my license was revoked and never made
Let me
it.
interrupt. Can you get this all fixed by yourself, or do you need an attorney?
No,
to
ma'am,
help
I just got to go take this class and I'll have my license back.
Okay, so if I continue it till August, that will be good?
Yes, ma'am. I can bring you a license.
Okay, it may not change anything. It may still be jail time, but it's for sure jail time today without a license. So do you want August 7th, 14th, or 21st?
The 14th.
Okay, we will continue this to August. Speedy trial is waived. August 14th, 2013. Do you agree to waiving speedy trial? You don't want a trial right away, you want to...
No, ma'am.
Okay. August 14th, wait for your paperwork. I'll put defendant to get DL, no promises. Brandon Caswell, please. Mr. Caswell, thank you for dressing so respectfully for the court. Ms. Chris, you need me, or you... Okay, Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
All right, you are charged with marijuana and no driver's license. You failed to appear last month. Did you get arrested on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you show up when you were supposed to?
I was thinking it was the 14th that day,
Much time.
but I called on the 15th and she said just to show up the next Wednesday, but they sent the warrant out for my arrest before then.
All right, Ms. Papula, this is Mr. Caswell. He didn't show up when he was supposed to. He said it was By mistake, I told him just come in on the next Wednesday, but he got arrested before he could come in. And the citations very clearly say the 15th. But we could factor that in, that he had to bond out. And this is Mr. Caswell for marijuana, no driver's license. Do you have a driver's license now?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I've been working, so I haven't had time to go get it.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because you're charged with driving with no license. I can send you to jail for 2 months. I can send you to jail for 2 months, but you're telling me you didn't have time to go get a license. How old are you?
18.
So you've been eligible for 2 years to get a license and have not done it.
No, ma'am.
All right, if you enter a no contest plea today, Ms. Papula, could you go ahead and read it onto the record?
It would be an adjudication of guilt for both counts. As to count 1, it'll be a $200 fine. The stop class, 2 clean screens at least 30 days apart. His deal will be suspended if he does not complete the stop class. For count 2, it's an adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation concurrent with count 1, with early termination upon a $200 fine and $50 cost of prosecution.
And the only thing I'll do to help you out there, I'll reduce the fine to $150 per count, so it saves you $100.
Ma'am.
So do you want to leave what we did here, or do you want to change it to a not guilty and talk to a public defender?
I'll just leave it.
Even knowing it's going to violate your juvenile probation?
What if I choose not guilty? What happens then if I...
You can go talk to the public defender and decide what to do later.
All right, I choose not guilty.
All right, could you change this to a not guilty and write up why we undid what we already did? Okay, Ashley Sunblade to the microphone. You were looking over the files.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask for 20 days Lake County Jail.
And terminate probation?
Yes.
Okay, she was on probation for defrauding an innkeeper, so you're recommending we terminate probation, 20 days in jail. That same 20 days would cover the new theft charge. Okay, this is Ms. Sunblade. She's on probation and she has a new charge. You said this violates her probation and the warrant's on the way, but it's not attached. So, Ms. Sunblade, if you want to say not guilty, then we're going to serve the violation of probation warrant on you, and you'll go to jail with no bond. I'll appoint the public defender, and the public defender can work out whatever. If you want to plead today, we will terminate your probation. It would be 20 days in jail. That would take care of the old case and the new case.
So all I have to do is 20 days in jail, and I won't, that's it, even with my
That's
probation?
it for both cases, except for restitution and the mandatory costs. How'd you get here today?
My mom's car.
You drove? It's 20 days concurrent right this second. We can call your mother and she can have somebody come get the car.
I can call her when I go in.
All right, so you're taking the 20-day deal. 20 days concurrent, probation terminated. And whatever we do with the warrant will... Okay, we have to decide what to do about the money. Miss Christine? We don't know, are we saying any money due is canceled?
If probation is terminated, it will go toward mandatory automatically.
Okay, any money due goes towards mandatories. It isn't really automatic and we have to say it each time. So 20 days, probation terminated, any money due goes to mandatories.